Peace, peace. It's your boy Nightlife 79. Hey, I'm back with another one, man. I have a really good one. I have another brother in the community that I would like for you guys to pay attention to. Put him on the channel. Let's step inside and allow him to introduce himself and tell a little bit about his business. All right. Hey, sir, how you doing today?
What's happening?
All right. Hey, tell everybody your name, man, and talk a little bit about your business and what you do.
Dennis Young from Gainesville, Georgia. Been in the flooring business all my life, so I'm still in it. Have a flooring company here in Flowery Branch.
Okay.
Do floors, cabinets, and countertops.
Floors, cabinets, and countertops.
Yes, sir.
So how did you get into flooring? Was that like a passion that you discovered early in life, or was it a business that you were almost indoctrinated into? How did you pick up that skill? That's a very skillful business.
Third generation.
Third generation.
So when I moved down here from Syracuse, New York, my pops took me to work with him and said, there's one thing I'm gonna make sure of, and that's you won't be afraid of hard work. So I never thought I'd grow up in the business, but I had to trade all my life, you know what I mean? Ventured off into other things and found my way back to flooring, man, and it's been great.
Okay. So talk about that, like the difference. I love to ask people, the difference between getting like a formal education for business or having both the formal education for business and also having a trade where you can work with your hands. I asked that question because now in today's times, I actually see the flourishment of people that actually have a trade. A lot of the people that have a lot of business sense that are almost intangible, if you will, seem to be going into the trade market in order to perpetuate and have a long-term success. Talk about that a little bit.
From my experience and what I've seen, the world has changed, right? I mean, you can make money on TikTok and all these other places and still be in high school and get paid. So a trade is important because working with your hands never goes away, right? So it's people sleeping under bridges right now with degrees and that can never get a job in their field. Or a lot of people graduate with degrees and never work in that field, end up doing something where they have to have a skilled trade. So having a trade is detrimental for, especially for the young kids coming up. You have to have some smarts about, being able to build or whatever the case may be. Whatever the trade is that you choose, electricians, plumbers, all those things are necessary. Degrees, I think, are good, especially the experience in college life for these kids. I didn't go. I say I went to Sam Young and Son University. That's my granddad, first black carpet installer in Hall County. That's the college I went to.
Absolutely.
But I think the college experience is good for a lot of the kids coming up, learning how to deal and work with different ethnicities, different types of people. But degrees are important in medical fields and things of that nature, but everybody's not going to be a doctor, right? Everybody's not going to be an x-ray technician, but I think having a trade is really important for those who really don't want to spend all that time in school.
And it's almost safe to say that when you do have a trade, it can also become a fallback mechanism. Let's say hey, you get tired of doing your trade and you decide to venture off to do something else. You may stumble in that new field that you think about. You can always fall back on your trade. Is that something that you've ever done, or have you always just stayed within the flooring business?
No, I've done, I went to kiddie school. I learned how to change fire extinguishers to powder and chemicals and things like that. I've worked at Lumite here in Gainesville. I was a weaver at Lumite, but I've gone through a number of jobs, not knowing at the time that those weren't really for me, you know what I mean? That God had bigger plans, just doing something that I've done my whole life, something that my family has done my whole life, and being able to take it to another level. When my granddad was an installer, my dad was an installer, my uncle was an installer, my cousins were installers. I started as an installer, but I eventually, grew and got up off of my knees and started learning the backside of the business. Being an estimator, I used to work for a company that sales reps taught me how to do takeoffs, right? And then they would start paying me to do their takeoffs because they didn't want to do them. Right, so then I came back to Georgia doing that same thing, and I just grew into the sales side of the business, built my own clientele. Company that I worked for went out in 2007, 2008 when the market, turned south and the world went through an enema. And then I started this business in 2010. So
Oh,
15
man.
years now, man. I've been rolling.
Well, that's congratulations, man. And talk about that transition as opposed to being a kid growing up under the leadership of your family, your grandfather, especially, as opposed to being voluntold that, hey, I'm going to show you a trade. This is what you need to do. At what point did you realize that you actually had a passion for it? Simply, I say that because usually a passion develops within the process of doing something, and you realize, hey, I can actually bank on this and make my business flourish due to my passion.
When I was working for Coleman Floor Company in Charlotte. I was installing with my cousin Sean Young, and they reached out to me and said, hey, Michael's been trying to get a hold of you. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I went in the office. They offered me a job to come in and work for them, running the customer service department. And once I got in on that side of the business, you know what I mean? Not crawling around on my knees all day and installing, which I enjoyed that too. But learning the business side, that's when I knew, okay, this is it. This is it. I mean, I can remember walking down the hall in Coleman Floor Company. I had braids, you know what I'm saying? Long braids hanging down my back. And, you know, and people would be walking on the other side of the hall and walk by and not even speak to me. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I have to look the part, right? So I cut my hair off, got a brush cut, put my slacks on, came in, and then it's like, hey, Dennis, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I got it. So I just worked from there and just grew my business and stuck with it, man.
And talk about some challenges that you faced, especially early on with establishing your business. Everything from finding that capital to sustaining what's already in play and also estimating what your next fiscal year could even look like.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I really had any major difficulties because I don't put my trust in man. You know what I mean? I put my faith in God. And when I started this business, it wasn't because I wanted to start the business. I was given the opportunity. So one of my builders reached out to me and said, hey, Dennis, I see you bouncing from floor company to floor company. This was during the downturn. And he was like, have you ever thought about starting your own business? I was like, I have, man, but I just don't have the money right now. He was like, well, I'm going to England. When I get back, we're going to sit down and talk about it. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll sit down and talk about it when you get back. And then 30 minutes later, he called me back. He said, Dennis, I'm serious. He said, when I get back, we're going to put these numbers together. We're going to sit down and talk about it. And that was in 2010. And I slowly started moving my stuff in boxes to my office that was in the back of his, you know, he owned a building in Flowery Branch, but I had an office, just me, next to the break room. You know what I mean? I started slowly. He was like, what do you need? What kind of desk do you need? You know, what kind of computer do you need? So I started gradually moving my stuff over to there and been rolling ever since. Moved from me doing everything in the back by the break room to hiring somebody in finance to hiring somebody in customer service to me not being able to walk all the houses in the field, being able to hire somebody in the field. And it's just, you know, I hadn't stopped. I remember going to a Christmas party with my business partner at one time, and he was tipsy and he was leaning on me. He said, Dennis, he said, one day you ain't gonna need me no more.
That's it.
And it was true, yo, because I bought him out 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's still my brother, because if it wasn't for him, the business probably wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? I can't say that, but it happened the way it happened for a reason, you know, and he used to always say, Dennis, you're lucky. No, man, we're under umbrella protection. You know what I mean? So eventually he stopped saying, Dennis, we're lucky. And he was like, no, it's the umbrella protection. You're
Umbrella
right.
protection.
It is, man.
Y'all hear that, man?
Yeah.
Hey, so this is exactly why I developed the passion for doing these interviews with small businesses, bigger businesses. I have no preference. I feel like everybody is a walking book. Everybody has a story. I really appreciate it. As you was explaining your journey, I mean, it was enough detail there that I was literally visualizing it, putting myself in your shoes as you were going through it. Give some advice to the youth, that youthful person who's just now developing a passion or even realizing that they like something and they have that entrepreneurial spirit and they want to jump off the porch, but they really don't know how to do it or where to start.
First, don't give up on your dreams. You know what I mean? Follow your dreams. It's important that whatever you want to do, you have to put yourself around like-minded people. You know what I mean? You can't have this dream of being a doctor, for example, and you hanging out with, you know, with somebody or people or a group of people that aren't in the same mindset. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you have to put yourself around the right people. If you're the smartest person in your circle, you need a new circle.
Yep.
You need a new circle. And all these things are important, man. I talk to my wife all the time. You know, before I got to where I am and friends, I'm like, how do you become a millionaire? Put yourself around millionaires. They'll show you how to get there. You know what I mean? So it's good to know some things, but a lot of times it's about what you know, because they'll help you get there.
Oh man, that's excellent, man. I really appreciate it. Hey, give the people your business title. You know, what is your business and where are you located? Where can people find you? Even the social media sites.
Yeah, my company is called The Northeast Corner. It was NEC Floor Company, but I changed it when I introduced cabinets and countertops and things of that nature. So I didn't want to just put myself in one category. So The Northeast Corner, we're in Flowery Branch on McEver Road, 5340 Suite G as in God, McEver Road in Flowery Branch. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, I believe, and working on some other things. I have a marketing lady here that's really turned the marketing side of my business around, and it's making a big difference. So This is where we are, and this is who we are.
That's it, right? Hey, I really appreciate your time. I'm honored that you would provide me with this time to capture this interview.
For sure, man.
Hey, y'all heard it here. Nightlife 79. Check me out. Like, comment, subscribe.